don't want to listen to them as you're messing around on your desk. Okay, we're going to go over our levels today so that you can see what we are working on and so that you know for the test tomorrow to be prepared for what you're going to see. So what do you notice is different again about Unit 7? Colby?
There's only 3 levels.
Yeah, so what's the highest you can score on the test?
3.
A 3. Okay. So for level 1, you have placed all integers on a number line, which that was Unit 6. And then integer pairs on a coordinate plane with 1 unit increments. And what do they mean by 1 unit increments? What's that mean? Hakeem?
Is it the squares on the graph?
Yeah, and what does it mean by the squares on the graph? What do you mean by that? Calvin, do you want to help him out?
The box is on your coordinate plane.
Yeah, what about those boxes though? What does that mean? If I said 1 unit increments.
Only one of those?
Yeah.
Colby? We're getting close. What was the vocabulary word we talked about yesterday? We talked about it's something you step on to weigh yourself. Aaron?
Scale.
Scale. Okay, what did scale mean? What was that in math terms? Colby? A box. So a scale or increments would be what we're counting by. So if I said we're counting by 1 unit increments, what does that mean?
1 unit. We're counting by 1.
Yeah, 1 unit is 1 box. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're counting by ones. Okay? And then also a level 1 question is drawing polygons with positive coordinates on a grid. So where would that be? Where would positive coordinates on a grid be? On our 4-quadrant, where would those positive ones fall? Paris?
In quadrant 1.
Yep, so for a level 1 question, we are only graphing in quadrant 1. Okay, that's what you'll see tomorrow on the test. Questions about level 1s? Okay, level 2 is place all rational numbers on a number line and integer pairs on a coordinate plane with various increments. So what do they mean by various increments?
More than one measurement.
More than one measurement. So give me an example. What could you possibly see then? Colby?
Negative 3 and 4.
Okay, you could see counting by 3s or by 4s. What else could you see labeling by? What would be another increment that you might see on a test?
Oh, 2s.
2s, 5s.
1s.
Okay, 1s is not various, so the 1s is level 1. So you have to count by something higher than 1 in order to be a level 2. Okay. The second part to level 2 is draw polygons in the 4-quadrant, or in all 4 quadrants, with scales in 1 unit increments. Okay, so what we're doing today is graphing in all 4 quadrants, and we're only counting by ones. So each one of these is going to stand for 1. Okay? And then a level 3 is solving problems involving distance between points. That's not something we're going to do today since we did that yesterday. So that's counting between point A to point B. We also worked a little bit yesterday on reflection across axes. Remind me, what's reflection across axes? Xavier?
Axes.
Yeah, and what did that mean? So if I was here and I said I wanted to reflect
Go all the way down.
I could reflect over the x-axis, or I could reflect over
Y.
the y. So I could also go this way, depending on what the question was asking. The last piece is solve problems by drawing polygons in all 4 quadrants with different scales, including fractions. Okay, so today we won't see fractions, but tomorrow on the test there is 1 or 2 questions where you are going to have to count by halves or fourths. Okay, they won't do anything other than halves or fourths. Okay, they're not going to throw you a curveball and give you like sevenths or something. Okay? So, we have our what y squared for today. So I'm going to read you the very long version of our learning target. I know it's kind of hard to see, my pen started to die. Okay, so I just want you to listen. I'll read it a couple times. And I want you to be thinking about how can we reword this to make it a little more planner friendly for the end of the day. Okay? I can draw polygons in the coordinate plane, given quadrants for the vertices, in the context of solving real-world and mathematical problems. I'll read it one more time. I can draw polygons in the coordinate plane, given quadrants for the vertices, in the context of solving real-world and mathematical problems. Okay, so go ahead and take 30 seconds in your table groups to come up with a kid-friendly I can statement. Heads together.
So I can work on my 3 levels for relationships according to
Thank you, Hawaii. Okay. Abby, what did your group come up with?
I can draw polygons on a coordinate plane.
Okay, I could draw polygons in a coordinate plane. Holly, what did your group come up with?
I can work on my 3 levels for relationships on a coordinate plane.
Ooh, I like how you added in the poster there. Changing it up a little bit. David, what did your group come up with?
I can draw polygons in a coordinate.
Okay, sounds good. So where do you think that we would actually use coordinates or coordinate planes in the real world? Like why would we possibly be learning this to like use it in the real world either now or as adults? Okay, I'm going to give you another 30 seconds to talk about it in your groups. Go ahead, heads together.
Sewing, shopping, others.
Or if you were to make plans for a city, like you're a city,
Or if you're trying to grab something. Oh yeah, like you're trying to grab your money. Like, have you ever seen things where the lines go up and down? Yeah. That's where you go like that. Yeah.
people, when
Or in doctor's offices, the thing that goes through there.
so it's building stuff, and so like if you're using a map, it can provide where you need to go.
Okay. So WSU, what did your group talk about? Where in the real world would you use coordinates?
We use them in maps and building houses.
Okay, so blueprints for houses and maps. Yep, that sounds good. Holly?
We could use them in a certain job if you did have a certain job in like technology or something like that. If you did need to bring something,
Yeah.
you can use it.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of jobs with that. Paris?
In a doctor's office.
Okay, possibly a doctor's office.
Helping build a city.
Yeah, anything with buildings, definitely coordinates.
When you're looking at jobs, you see which one is the highest income and which one is the lowest, so you can track them.
Okay, possibly making some charts. I had some other classes bring up hiking. So if you're out in the mountains, you need to, you don't want to get lost, so you need to know what coordinates you're going to be at. Or have any of you done geocaching?
Yeah.
Yeah, so using coordinates for that too. Okay. Alright, so what we are going to be doing today is we're going to be doing a kind of more interactive performance task. So there's going to be 2 kind of components of what we're going to be working on. The first thing I would like you to do is just to put your name, date, and homeroom on the top of the worksheet, and then I'll give you the next direction. So name and number, date, and homeroom. Okay, So there are 3 directions on the front of the worksheet. The first one says to plot the points in the coordinate plane, connect the points in the order that they are listed. Should I give us a count?
Yeah.
Okay, so quickly turn to the back. Okay, if you look on the back, there are a bunch of different coordinates. Okay, so what you're going to be doing, okay, is you're going to be taking the colored pencils that you have, or crayons, okay, and you're going to make sure that you want to match the colors, okay, correctly. And I know the first one says gray. We're going to fix that. That's going to be red. Okay, so you're going to take those coordinates and you are going to graph them on your own paper. Okay, and so as you are graphing them, okay, the direction says that you need to connect the points as you go.
Okay.
Okay, because what you're going to notice is when you are graphing, if you look at the first one on red, see how it's -7, +4?
Yeah.
And then the last one is -7, +4?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean regraph that. That means you need to make sure that you connect them all together to make a closed polygon. Okay, and then you're going to make all types of different shapes of polygons. Okay? So you are going to have 8 different colors on your paper. 8 different shapes. Okay, does that make sense so far? Caleb? You're going to be working in your table groups. Okay, so after you have done that, okay, you can color in. If you have marker or crayon, I would suggest probably not, because then you're not going to be able to write on it. I would like you to please cross out, identify the type of polygon. We're not going to do that part. Okay, after you have those 8 shapes graphed using the correct colors, the last piece says to find the area. So we've been talking about area a little bit in RTN. I know we've just started. So say that this was my green shape that I have. Okay, how could I find the area of that shape? Colby?
Base times width.
Yeah, base times width, I could multiply. Or if you don't know the formulas yet, all you have to do is count the boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and what I would like for you to do is please write your answer inside the shape. Okay, that way there's not random numbers all over your paper. Okay, now there will be some shapes, okay, that don't necessarily make a nice even spot where you can count. Okay, so what I would suggest with ones like this is I would start with all of the whole boxes that you see. So see how this one's a whole box? Okay, so that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and if I draw my line a little bit straighter, okay, that would be 4. Okay, and then see how these ones are cut in half? Okay, then you can start to add some of those halves together. Okay, so this and this is a half, so that's another whole, so that's, what am I at, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another half would be 6. So then the area of this shape is going to be 6. Okay, you may have some that are like 6.5 or 7.5. Okay, and it's okay if it's a little bit off, just because we're not being exact with rulers today. So if you get 6.5 and your neighbor gets 6, that's okay. I'm not looking to have the exact answer for area today. That will be in the future. Okay. So while you are doing that, okay, there is a second task that as a group you're going to have to complete. If you're graphing right now, put down your pencils. No one should have anything in their hands. Okay. The second task that you are going to be doing is each group is going to be getting 1 or 2 baggies, depending on what I give you, and each one matches a color that is on the back of your paper. Okay, so if I'm in this group here and we get the red ones, I'm going to distribute them so that everyone has a red dot. Okay, and then if I was a part of this group and I decided that I wanted to go first, okay, I'm going to look at my first coordinate, and it says -7, +4. So one at a time. I don't want all of you to go at once. One at a time. Okay, you're going to come up and grab a piece of tape off the board here, and I'm going to find -7, +4. Okay, and so when I'm graphing on a coordinate plane, where do I start? What's that vocabulary word, everyone?
Origin.
Origin, and where's the origin?
In the very middle.
Yep, 0, or in the middle, or 0, 0. So if I have negative 7, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Positive 4, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to plop that right there, and I'm going to go back to my seat. So then my next teammate knows that they can go plot the next one. So we should have no more than 5 people at a time, because if one person from each group is up there. Okay, and you'll keep going until all of your colors are up there on the board. Okay, you may notice you may have 1 or 2 extras, just because I put some extras in there in case they went missing. Okay, so if you're like, I only have 5 and I only needed 4, okay, that's because I put some extras in there. Okay, so don't stress out about that. Okay, the last thing I want you to notice is, so we know how we talked about how we have repeats. Okay, you don't need to regraph that negative 7, positive 4. I don't need to put another one on top of that one. Okay, we just know that on your paper, that's where you will connect. Okay, so we're not drawing and connecting on this one, we're just looking at the shapes. That make sense?
Yep.
You have questions? Okay, whatever you don't finish will be your homework. I would suggest starting with all of these dots first, and then working on plotting on your own paper. Okay? Alright, once you get a bag, you may get started. When that's all done, then you'll find the area.
Okay, so if you guys want, you can number their groups to make it easier.
Wait, are we on this?
Vertices are the points, or the corners.
You guys,
So like this is vertices. So on your page. So when you have your sheet, whatever that may be, so if I have a rectangle, the 4 corners or the vertices. Yeah, start with these ones first.
do we only do our go first?
No, you're going to graph all of them, but these are the ones you are graphing.
-5, 5.
I know, I reuse bags.
3.
I should see students starting to make their way up to the board to graph. Thank you, Noah. Before you guys get doing all that, you need to start plotting
Oh, you want us to do that first?
these ones first, yeah.
So the first one, -7, 4. Wait, no. We're not supposed to do the yellows yet.
Saber, make sure that you're using the colors. So you can number them.
Yeah.
If you want to outline it, that's okay. I've seen. Oh, you can. I've seen some people outline them, so it's up to you.
It's on to orange. Okay. -7.
You see this?
I will. Which one is it? Which one do we need to do? Wait, what?
Are we doing all of them?
How come there's only 4?
Wait,
We only got 4 dots. For orange? Yeah.
but there is only
3/4. So this one's a repeat. So make sure that you've distributed so everyone gets to go up.
We don't have enough for everybody.
I know, so then you can split up the yellows too, but everyone needs to go up and plot.
Okay. I'll do it orange. I already We don't have yellow?
I don't want to go up.
Okay. You have to. You have to. They said that everyone has to participate.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Do you want yellow instead? It's fine. Here, make sure to distribute. Okay. Give one to Kenny. And then give another one to Janae. I'm doing yellow. I'll do another. And then I'll do another too. And then Caleb.
Holly, make sure you outline
Okay.
it in
Go
red.
up.
If you know you know that's
Find the
red.
next yellow.
I do.
Find 3 -1.
I'll do yellow.
Well, 3 -1. Wait. I did mine on.
Oh, you already put yours up?
Yeah. Who's going next?
Who's next?
Yeah.
Chris, did you just go? Which one did you grab?
Okay. Next. Go.
Right, so there's -8, +6.
Okay.
Did you do that one?
Your orange guy. What should be 6? -7. These shapes don't make any sense. Oh my gosh. No. Oh my god.
-5, +7. And then the last one you won't. Yeah.
Wait a second.
Yes, that's why you don't redraft it.
By the way, you're doing an extra one.
Yep.
Abby, if you look here. How can we have 2 yellows?
There's a bunch of extra yellows.
Oh, okay.
I've never done one yet.
Oh yeah, you haven't done one yet. Yeah.
I haven't done one yet.
So, did we plot all the orange? I think so.
Yeah.
You got the orange? I'll take the orange, Maggie.
I plotted all the green already.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so Scott, now you need to make sure you are plotting them on your paper. Okay, so if you want, you can look up here, that way you don't have to flip back and forth. Or you can look in the back of your paper, it's up to you. That way you can cross them off as you go. But make sure you're using the right colors, so you start with red.
-7.
You guys get all yours back? Yeah. You just have one day.
Where's my green?
I'll use the connected line.
I think Brianna has the other one though. -7 and 7.
Okay, next one.
Should I go up right now? I'm with you. Here's what? Should I go up right now?
Yeah.
-4, okay. 3 and -1. Whoa.
So like this one's whatever color. Yeah.
Am I the one whose shapes overlap?
My shape.
You may have one or two that have the same vertices.
What if we don't have enough dots?
What's left on the side? Wait, what's put in the wrong spot? One is wrong.
I'll go get it.
5.
Take your line.
8. I did it.
I was breathing.
Here's one orange. Are we done?
I fixed it. Abby,
Can we go on together?
next one.
Yeah, so once
I fixed it.
yours is done, then you can start wrapping all of them.
Doing pink.
What one?
Oh yeah, we need to do pink.
Oh yeah.
Me? I think it's the 2 ones.
There we go.
Abby, you might not do that. But we have extra yellow. Don't do that one. Because they still need to go. Because they did orange. Yeah, I know, but Kenny still hasn't done one. Kenny, so you did 9 next. No, I think we're next, so keep your yellow.
Now you have to add all your shapes up.
Don't plot any yellow.
Yeah.
I wish they would correct
I want to do another one.
So now you have to go next, start with orange.
Well, no, Abby, you already did 1 yellow, though. We're not supposed to do 2 colors.
That's not really fair.
It is fair, because if you go, then Janae doesn't get to go twice. Scott hasn't gone twice.
Guess what? I finished.
So that's why
You two went twice.
we went twice because there's extras. But we're not supposed to do 2 colors though.
8.
You guys should all figure it out?
Which one are you doing?
He's doing the second to last one. And then you have to.
And then who had the last one?
Well, they had the last one. She had 2 yellows. No, I haven't done green.
Oh, okay, I'm not doing it right. No, you're not doing it. No, you're right.
Everyone has.
One more.
Wait,
Okay, so you're volunteering to do that. Yeah. Is your group okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 6.
One more.
They're gonna make one shape. It's because in real world they would be probably more circular, but because it's a graph, it's gonna be straight line.
That would be orange.
You guys finish? Is that yours?
You have this way right now.
What shape? I don't know what color.
Brown. It was 6 to negative. Did I do it right?
Yeah. Abby, 0. Yeah, 0, 3. That one's not that hard to find.
Is this
One more.
okay, yeah, it's really big.
Okay, did I do it right?
Mine just looks really big because I did giant dots.
Miss Tillman? Miss Tillman, we need that extra dot. I don't know why.
At least it doesn't work that well for me. 1 second.
Kenny, what do you do with your yellow dot?
I took one off the table.
0, 3. Oh no, it's yellow.
I got 6.5. I got 6.5.
Oh, never mind, Janae. You don't need it. I'm already doing it. Everything's already done. Yeah, I know. We don't need it.
Yeah.
Okay, make sure you outline that one too so we don't know what that is.
That's blue. Where's my purple? Oh, I had to use it.
Is this correct?
There will be a couple triangles, yes. I don't know what color. Oh, is that brown? Yeah. Yep, brown makes a triangle.
We didn't skip yellow.
Okay, I'm gonna do brown. Yay, I did green.
Got about 7 more minutes before we need to fill out planners.
Which one were you guys just doing? You were doing brown?
Hey.
Okay, so
This is like in the orange.
wait, hold on.
What, green?
Me and Colby got this.
We got all the green potted now?
Oh, wait.
All the dots, green dots?
Oh, I know. I found one that's really cute. I found one
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Is this the right shape, right?
I found one that's actually not.
Wait, Miss Tillman? Purple.
Orange is -2, -7.
Green and red.
Hat?
Okay, -1, -1.
Hat?
Negative or +3.
Oh yeah,
-1.
I pulled my cat.
+6. Okay, so you got red done. So what's your question?
I bought an eraser.
Yeah, with brown.
You guys got Okay, so you got red done. Okay, so now where's your orange?
I got just like. Yeah, 4.
Thank you. Okay, so now we're going to plot the orange ones. Okay, so you're going to have 8 different shapes on your paper. Okay? So, do you want me to read them to you? Would you like me to read the coordinates to you? Okay, ready?
I'm
Start
on
0, 0.
green right now. I'm doing blue.
-2.
Please look like
Negative 7.
eraser.
Okay, you did the negative 2, you gotta go all the way down to negative 7 now. Negative 2, negative 7.
It's just like dot, dot, space.
They're awfully close.
Yeah, 2 to 2.
These right here are positive.
Oh no, wait.
Okay. So when we graph, we always go left to right first. So where would negative 2 be?
No, I don't torture my head. No, not you. God.
Positive.
Because I always have little
Negative 2. And then we go up or down. So then where would negative 7 be?
shape, right?
Negative. Is this so there's negative 2, negative 7. 5. Right to the next one. Negative 1. Negative 4.
Orange is super spread out.
That's negative 2.
Orange goes negative 2, negative 7, negative 1, negative 4, positive 3, negative 1.
I need brown.
Oh,
If you need help with brown, I'm just going to move brown.
Negative 1.
Okay.
Green? I was thinking it was all the way up in positive 1.
Positive 6.
Green is
Negative 7.
6.
Okay, and then the last one is repeating. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take your pencil and you're going to connect them in the order that we went.
I'll do yellow.
Okay, and then you're going to color that one orange since that one was our orange shape. Okay? Yes, any questions?
So, it says 0, 10, or, yeah, 0, 10, all that things. How do you know if it's going to go vertical or...
So if it says 0, you stay on the orange. You don't move. So if it's 0, negative 10, so you go 0, negative 10.
How would you know that it goes down and goes up?
Because you go left to right first. And did we move left to right?
No.
Okay, so then we can only go up or down.
Oh, so now it's on the y-axis.
Yeah.
Oh,
Purple is a square. On the front, in the boxes.
oh, in them?
Yep.
Oh.
How they get so cute. It's like legit. Wait. They're 2 years old. Okay, legit. My aunt, she was one time. She had like a puppy, and the puppy, like we would let the tortoise out for a walk once in a while. So the puppy was like smaller than tortoises, so she just like went up and just like sniffed and stuff, and the tortoise was dead.
My tortoise is the hisser. I know.
Got worse paper. Good. You have one of those wrapped.
Everybody who watches this video can learn something about it. -5. It doesn't.
Three. Dang.
Y'all done? Noah, graphing?
Okay.
So if you're done graphing, then you need to find the area. I'll rip out planners and you can find that somewhere you wait. Okay. Eyes up here, please. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Savannah. Take your key. Bryson. Great. If you borrowed any of my crayons or colored pencils, before you leave, I ask that you return them. Okay, and then I need to see everyone out with their planners. If whatever you did not finish is now your homework for tonight. Okay. If you completed it, where's your area? You gotta find the area of the shape. Almost.